This is Maxi Contenti, the director of The Last Matinee, and you're hearing the Horror Squad podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Horror Squad podcast, episode number 214. Tonight we're talking about Scream 2022, which is currently in theaters. I'm one of your co-hosts, Todd. We have Steve, who's drinking water. We have Sam, who's looking at her phone. We have Joe, who's styling his hair because he's got a new fresh haircut. Boys, girl, how are you?
Fantastic.
Thanks, you're welcome, sweetie.
It's actually not styled at all, really. It's just flapping
It looks
in
like
the breeze right now.
effortless effort. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Yeah.
Welcome. Shaking her head.
I just kind of throw
teasing.
my hand through it, you know.
Yeah. Let the wind style it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how was everyone's Valentine's Day? Did you do anything special?
Not at all. How was yours? You guys had a sleepover with your doggy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We had a sleepover, all right.
Ooh,
What does that mean?
Shade.
Joe had the whiskey in him.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, we'll move along. Steve, what'd you do?
I worked for most of it. Wasn't supposed to, but ended up working. I did get to play some games with my wife, like video games and stuff. We pulled out our old like 360 to play some trivia games that she likes a lot. We also had a birthday party because it was her birthday the day before, so did that. And yeah, it was a good weekend. You know, overall, a good time.
Super Bowl too.
Yes,
Todd, you didn't
finally.
do anything. Right. Todd didn't do anything for Valentine's Day.
No, we didn't. We're in this like professional and geographical shakeup right now, so we're trying to buckle down everything. So we just, had a quiet night at home.
But not even like a candle lit while eating dinner.
No, we got Chipotle. So Chipotle
Chipotle's
burritos.
good.
It is good. But no, we're going out on Friday night to that Cumberland Falls waterfall at night thing.
Oh.
So we're doing that for celebration.
That sounds romantic.
Give it a little smoochy smooch, you know what I mean?
Are you gonna propose again? Renew the vows, maybe?
Probably a little too early for that. That's probably more like a 20-year thing. I'm at 14. Yeah, so
14. Wow.
You know what? Maybe somewhere around there. I don't know. 13, 14.
I'm
12,
proud of you, buddy.
Thank you.
Steve, how long have you been married?
10 and a half.
Oh my God, you guys are babies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Started young.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but Super Bowl, for better or for worse, happened. My team lost.
Yeah. Go Rams. Me and Steve betted on the Rams.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So let's hear it. What are your movies? Do you guys have them?
Oh, I do.
No.
Oh.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Next week.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I got one. So the way we decided to do it is Sam's going to pick for Todd and I'm going to pick for Joe. I already have my movie. So do you want Elise to get Joe's and then we'll get Sam's for Todd next week? So Joe, I'm letting you off easy this year. It's a bad movie. Don't get me wrong, but there's some entertaining values to it. So I would like you to review Rectuma over on Tubi.
Ooh.
So, Rectuma?
Yeah,
Rectuma?
About a guy who gets
Rectum?
his ass like bit, and it grows bigger and bigger and starts attacking people in the area.
Oh.
It's
Sounds
quite
fun.
The interesting film, I gotta say.
What
But,
bites his ass?
I don't remember if it's like a creature or I don't know, or a tick or something. I don't know, something radioactive bites his ass and it just grows from there. It's a very, very low budget film, but it's quite entertaining. It's not like, I was going to pick a Velocipastor, but I'm like over that now. So I think I'm going to go with Rectuma for you.
All right. I can tell the poster makes me a little concerned, honestly, now that I'm looking at it. But hey, I'm excited. Give it a shot. And I see you gave it 1.5 stars over on Letterboxd. So
hey, for a movie like that, that's
high or lower.
That's not that's not the worst.
No, and honestly, the first review that comes up on Letterboxd is a 5-star review. So
Sure,
we'll see.
So I hope you like it.
Yeah, I was expecting like an 80s or 70s movies too, and it was made in 2000s. So
Yeah,
that'll
it's
be
got the
interesting.
quality of like a 70s film.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's shot on tape, so you'll.
Oh,
right.
lovely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good one. So, what do you guys think of the Super Bowl? You guys were disappointed, or what do you think of the halftime show and all that kind of stuff?
Ooh, halftime
Loved
show
the
was
halftime
was
show.
good. It was, yeah, it was really cool. I
I heard
loved
it's the
the
best one in recent years. Is that
set.
true?
I would say
think
so.
I
so.
mean, yeah. I'm trying to think of like who was better in recent memory. Um, yeah, yeah, like nothing within the last 10 years that jumps out. Prince is like the favorite one I've actually ever seen. Like I know everyone talks about the Michael Jackson one, but like I was too young for that one. So, but the Prince is like the best one I've seen. Like when I actually watched the Super Bowl, but this was up there for sure. The set design on this year was pretty amazing, I thought.
It was amazing.
Mhm.
Amazing.
It wasn't the Bengals kicker out there watching.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, was he? I don't
Yeah,
know.
in person. Yeah.
That's funny.
'Cause he's like
that's
21
pretty
years
cool.
old. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was, Super Bowl was fine. Like, I don't know, when you don't have like a rooting interest in it, like I was been spoiled as a Patriots fan where like the Patriots were basically in the Super Bowl like every other year for the past 20 years. So, yeah, I had like no rooting interest really besides obviously our Super Bowl bet. So I was just hoping for a good game and, overall I thought it was a good game, but I just felt like there wasn't as much excitement like besides like the last 2 minutes of it. But there were some good commercials. Jim Carrey is the cable guy coming back. That was fantastic. And we got Dr. Evil. It was like I was talking about this with my friends. It was like they were like target 35 to 45 age like demographic. That was like every commercial this year.
The whole Super Bowl was basically that with the halftime.
Yeah,
show,
right.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
right. Yeah,
it's perfect for
totally.
me. I'm right in smack in the middle of that. So,
yep.
but where this was all leading to me was what about that Nope trailer that we got during the Super Bowl? How do you guys feel about that one?
Oh my gosh, I'm so like, it looks scary. I was yelling at Joe. I was like, I'm scared, especially when Kiki goes up in the air and she's like getting sucked by whatever away in the wind, gone with the wind. Yeah, I'm really excited.
It looks cool. I mean, they didn't show a lot, which I appreciate too, because every fucking trailer now is like, here's a twist, and this one didn't show anything. I really like the horse cowboy-ish angle they're going for too. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, aliens on a ranch is like a really like interesting idea. You've never really seen something like that before. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm interested to see like what his spin on this is going to be or what the potential twist is going to be. It looks like there's some interesting stuff. Like the one me and Sam were talking about this. The one imagery that like really stands out to me is like there's that woman. She like looks up and like she has like a skeletal face kind of like going on. It's really fucking creepy. And I'm interested to see like if maybe like the aliens are like already here, like on like the ground too, as well as like being up in the sky or something. So yeah, I mean,
Like
it's a
They
great,
Live
really
kind of
good
thing.
cast. Yeah, totally. Yep. Which would make sense like for Peel, right? Like, cause he always does some sort of social commentary. So like doing a sort of They Live take on it with the aliens would be pretty interesting. So, and he does like to like, he definitely like borrows from other horror movies. So They Live actually makes total sense. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
I feel like, why do I want to say that's his favorite horror movie?
They Live? Good.
I feel like I've
don't
read
know.
that somewhere. Maybe it's a movie that's similar that I'm thinking of.
It's definitely good. I actually watched it in the last 2 weeks, and it holds up. I really like that one. It's
It does, yeah. I watched it like a year or two ago for the first time ever, actually, and yeah, great movie.
Yeah, I just really like Jordan Peele's aesthetic. Like even how he introduces that it's his film. So it comes from the top and lowers down, and it says from Jordan Peele, but the from is like under it instead of over it because it's coming from the top. It's just he's just so good at things like that, and you could already tell just by the trailer, like his the cinematography just looks so fantastic, and the way he frames shots, and yeah, he's so like he's in a league of his own right now, and I'm super excited. Like I think this trailer was enough for me. Not that I would have seen anyway, but I don't want to see more. I just want to see the movie at this point, and this could be an early contender for 2022. I hoping 2022 works out better in 2021. So
when's it out?
May? Is that
July?
Is it July?
Oh,
I'm thinking
got a bit of a wait there then, huh?
Yeah.
July
Texas Chainsaw in 3 days.
22, I believe.
Mhm.
Yes, I can't wait. I'm really, man, I'm
Optimistic,
like
cautiously.
excited, but I'm not. Yeah, cautiously, I guess optimistic. I rewatched the trailer the other day with Sam because she hadn't seen it yet before. So, yeah, I don't know. Sam, what do you think of it?
I mean, it seemed okay. I'll watch it, but I don't know. Maybe I need to watch the original to like refresh my memory, but I find it looked like in the preview that they've built a town around their house, and I just feel like that would have never happened because everyone knew about like that family and no one wanted to go out there. Like there's no way, I don't think that someone would like, I don't know. I just find it hard to believe that it's like built on now.
Is
You know
that
what
is
I
that
mean?
what the plot is? I didn't see that.
That's what it looked like to me. It was
thought it
very
was-
hard to see, but she was talking about like, oh, they live in a ghost town or something like that. But then maybe I missed.
Maybe they're in like the same county or something.
I don't know. They like
Hmm.
showed the house, and then there's another building right next to it.
Huh.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
definitely-
Maybe I need to
Yeah,
watch
it's
it
like
again.
from what the trailer makes it seem like, it's a complete ghost town, and like they're like this group is trying to like revive this town or something like
But
that.
was the
and
Hewitt's
then they
house in the
find
same
Leatherface's. It's
street?
like part of the neighborhood, but like off to the side a little bit.
Mm.
Like it's not like directly like in the neighborhood, but it's like there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll
So
see.
it's like, I mean, in the original, obviously, I mean, you remember this is like 50 years later. So I
Mhm.
was saying this to Sam. I was like, I feel like, like a lot changes in 50 years. So maybe at one point, like obviously the Hewitt's house was just
Yeah,
by
you're
itself,
right.
but maybe like in time, developers came in and they started building, and perhaps like, maybe Leatherface was killing people in the town, and that's why it's a ghost town. There was some mysterious
Yeah.
murders, and no one could figure it out or something. I'm sure they'll figure out something like that. Yeah.
I will say I got a horror boner when the kids are on the bus and he comes up and then he like gets his chainsaw and starts sawing someone in half and like throws them up in the roof. Looks pretty
Dude,
good.
If he does not slaughter the whole bus, it's gonna be a
Oh,
missed
he has
opportunity.
slaughtered the whole.
Just
Yeah.
go through them. Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to rewatch the original. I mean, it's a great one. You should watch it again, Sam, for sure.
I will.
Maybe
Will you
it
watch
does.
it with me?
Sure, it doesn't have Jedediah, but it has
No Jedediah.
no Jedediah. Yeah.
And is that what we're still reviewing next week? You
Mhm.
guys have time to watch it over the weekend?
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
I'm excited. It's something new. We don't have to like pay for it. It's on Netflix, so it's should be good. Should be a good time. You guys ready for the question period?
Yep.
Yeah.
You can ask us those questions
Yes.
on social media at the Horror Squad Podcast or on the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, this Saturday, so the day after this episode releases, we're doing our movie club hangout on Saturday at 9 p.m. And we're going to talk about The House. I know last week we said my house, his house, just house, but it's actually The House. It's like a kind of animated film that was picked, and that's what we're going to talk about, and then just hang out for a little bit. So if you'd like to join our Discord, and you could do that and a bunch of other stuff. So the first series of questions are audio questions, of course, from our man Chuck. So Chuck, what is your first question?
Hey Horror Squad, Chuck aka Captain Amazing 85 with a few questions. First question, if you only had one shot, one opportunity to convert a non-horror fan to a horror fan, what movie would you show them?
I thought was this like an Eminem halftime show? It sounded
Yeah,
like
that's how
the
you started
intro
it,
to.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
See, you can't go hardcore right away because you might scare them off, right? So we're not doing Cannibal Holocaust or Exorcist or anything too scary, right? So and you also don't want to you don't want to be too cheesy, so you want to stay away from like Anaconda. So you got to fall in the middle there. Maybe like a like a Halloween or something.
Yep, that's what I'm going with, Todd.
Classic.
Classic.
Friday 13th.
It
Maybe
has a little bit of everything.
do a little double header. Or maybe like a
I like
the new It. That's probably right up people's alleys. I've never seen horror before.
Yeah, that's pretty safe. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think so. Just
I'm
not
going,
chapter 2.
I'm going Shaun of the Dead. You know, it's funny. It's got zombies. There's also a relationship story. It's not too much, but it's enough. You know, it's like, I think that's a good intro to horror to someone who's not a horror fan. So that's what I would pick. All right. What is your second question, Chuck?
What character death from a movie shook you to your core as you were 100% sure they were going to live?
Can I answer for everybody? Randy from Scream 2.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Randy.
R.I.P. Randy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you met him? Have you met Jimmy Kennedy yet? Anyone? No.
No.
He's been
Have
my
you?
big want. Like, no. He's been my big like want to meet though. So.
Aren't you gonna meet him?
Yeah, Texas Frightmare. So I'm excited. First time. Thank you.
You tricked me into asking you this.
No, not at all. I wanted to mention this real quick because Todd mentioned Cannibal Holocaust. Shudder is their Cursed is doing season 2, so I'm pretty excited about that as well. They're also doing The Wizard of Oz, Rosemary's Baby, Serpent in the Rainbow, and Stalker. So premieres April 7th.
I like that series. It was fun.
Yeah.
Just for the record, my answer that I wrote was actually Izzy from Starship Troopers. Totally broke my heart. I was hoping that Johnny Rico would end up with her instead
Izzy,
of
no.
yeah, and that really bummed me out. So
What'd she say at the end of it? At least I got to have you. Dizzy, man, rest in peace.
I know, such a bummer.
Yep.
All right, Chuck, what is your third question?
If you could design a horror theme park, what are some of the attractions you would have? And what would the name of your park be?
Ooh. I posted this in my horror group last week. There's a Saw roller coaster in England and it looks fucking awesome. So I would just steal that idea because I love it.
All right. I would go the dark ride route. I really love dark rides. So dark rides being, you're in a vehicle and you kind of go slowly towards stuff. A little bit like the Great Movie Ride, but through horror history. I think that would be super cool. I'm a big, because I'm such a big dark ride guy, that's what I do for most of my attractions. I would have a couple roller coasters, maybe a log ride, a haunted log ride. That would be really cool. I think there could be a lot of fun you can do with a horror park if you did a full dedicated one. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, I'm so fucking excited for Universal Monsters Land at Epic Universe at the Universal Studios in 2025. They announced this year, so that should be super fucking cool. So that's it's gonna be cool to see finally like a big major theme park do a full horror section. So looking forward to it. All right, Chuck, what is your last question?
May our movies be scary, chock full of fright. Tell us, Sam, what we drink tonight.
What would the Scream people in this movie be drinking? Do you think they're kind of a little bit uppity? I only watch Babadook.
Oh yeah.
So they're easily drinking like sparkling water or something stupid. No offense to people like sparkling water.
They're drinking probably White Claws.
Probably. But light seltzers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what the kids drink these days.
Did you ever? I remember stealing my neighbor's dad's wine coolers and getting like screwed up on those. Those are.
Oh my God! Wine coolers.
I remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember those
Should
days.
get some.
Zimas.
Zimas. They still make those?
I don't think so. No, they brought it back like a few years ago. I think like for like a limited time, but I can't imagine too many people are buying them.
All right, cool. So thank you, Chuck, for the questions. Next question is from Elizabeth. She says, have any of you watched one of the TV shows where they provoke spirits to communicate that shook you to your core? If so, what happened in that episode, and did you finish watching it?
Ooh, like Ghost Avengers and stuff like that?
Yeah, any ghost show. Really.
Do you guys remember, not what she's asking, but do you guys remember on MTV, I forgot what it was called, but they would have a camera. Fear. Oh, that show used to scare the crap out of me.
Yeah,
that was a great show.
That was so good.
That was a good one.
I wonder if that still holds up. Probably not. I'm gonna Google it.
I was just gonna say that. I want to watch. I'm sure they're on YouTube. You could probably watch it. I can't imagine it. It probably seems like so like fake and staged now. Like if you actually like watched it for like, but back then like it.
Those were
so
fantastic.
Real. Yeah.
Fear MTV.
There was a
Yep,
show
full
I used to
episodes. There's
watch.
56 of them.
Ooh, nice. I'm gonna have to watch that. There was a show I used to watch. I think it was called like Paranormal State. It was like this kid from like a college like research facility, and I used to like watch that late at night. And there were a couple episodes that freaked me out. I can't remember like specifics, but that was pretty good. And then there's also a Zach Baggins movie, Demon House. I didn't know who Zach Baggins was at the time, so like I didn't like know like what his shtick was or anything. So I just like went in like with no knowledge or anything, and that one actually creeped me out quite a bit.
Do you believe him that he went blind?
No, I mean I don't
He's a
believe anything like
scammer.
now. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I don't believe anything now, but like at the time I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is. I mean, it was like a good, even like if you just take it as like a found footage horror movie, it works pretty effectively.
I mean, like Mulder, dude. I want to believe, but then those shows, like, so much happens to them each episode. So much. Like, it's like, really, you're really having like doors closed and like a little girl whisper in your ear, and Zach Baggins loses his temper and wants to kill his cameraman. It's
God.
like, come on.
So obnoxious. I remember a show that I used to watch. I want to say it was called Haunted. It was on Animal Planet, and it would talk about how the spirits would torture their pets. And sometimes people even lost their pets. Like their pets would just die from these ghosts being upset and harassing them. It was so sad. I'd cry like every Friday night watching it. It's pretty scary.
I was never super into the shows where they provoke spirits like during the episode. For the same reasons you guys said, like it was always like, oh my god, what was that? Then commercial, and then oh, it was nothing. After the commercial, and that just got old really fast. And like you said, it seemed disingenuous and fake. What I preferred, especially like in the '90s, was watching shows that kind of told a story about ghosts, like the Unsolved Mysteries segments about ghosts, or there was a really great show called Sightings, also in the '90s, that had really really good like deep down like ghost stories and stuff like that, and they were freaky because they do reenactments, and it was like really really spooky. So if you can find, especially Sightings, there's they did a DVD, like a 3-pack. One was EVP, one was aliens, and one was ghosts. If you can find a Sightings ghost one, I highly recommend. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube somewhere. So that was super cool. They really went down deep into like some really scary shit from like Alcatraz, and they talked about EVP a little bit, and yeah, it was freaky. So
You guys ever find yourself in San Francisco, Alcatraz is a must-see tourist attraction. Have you been there, Joe?
No, but it's on my bucket list for sure.
It's really cool.
from my understanding, better do it sooner rather than later, because I think
Really?
the city's trying to shut it down. So
Really?
Oh wow.
that's what I
Sucks.
heard. Yeah.
Why?
I guess the
Is there a
tourist
reason?
money isn't like equal to what the land could be for something else.
Gotcha.
It's a little tiny ass island. What are they gonna do with it?
I don't know. Probably
Weird.
some government
Turn into
building or
like
some
air.
shit.
Yeah, it's like they could probably turn into like condos or something.
Right.
It's true.
But yeah, that's definitely on my bucket list as well. I hear it's like really spooky in there and a lot of history and stuff. So all right. So thank you, Elizabeth, for the question. Next series of questions are from Caleb. Hey squad. I just want to say that I've really grown to love this community that you guys have built, filled with kind and passionate horror fans. So from the bottom of my horror-loving heart, thank you all so much. First question is, I recently got a tattoo of Frankenstein, not only as a tribute to Boris Karloff, but also to Frankenstein, who was my introduction to horror as a child. So if you were to get a tattoo of the thing that got you into horror as a child, what would it be? It's a nice tattoo, by the way. You showed it on our Discord.
Yeah, it is a nice tattoo. I saw that. Very cool. I mean, I have one. Like, most of my tattoos are from like childhood horror movies, like that I remembered. For the big one, Nightmare on Elm Street. Obviously, Freddy Krueger was definitely one of my first intros to horror. So I got a tattoo of him. And then The Exorcist was the first horror movie that really like scared the shit out of me. So that's why I got that one. But if I were to go the first horror movie I ever watched, it would be Child's Play. So I don't want a Chucky tattoo though. I don't know. He just doesn't do it for me to put him on my body like permanently. But yeah.
So we're doing first horror movie or first got us in?
It says first. I think it said first horror movie. Let's go with that. We've talked about Goddess into Horror many times, so let's do first horror movie.
I don't recall. Maybe a Jaws. That'd be cool to get a Jaws one. I'd be down with that. But I do have 4 or 5 Evil Dead ones and one Dawn of the Dead one that I need to change. But the Evil Dead ones are pretty cool.
What would you do for Jaws? Like just the shark, or would you do the poster?
There's this I've seen the really cool artwork where it's like Brody's on the pole and he's about to shoot him, and you see the shark coming up, and right before it says "Smiley son of a bitch." I think that'd be a cool scene.
Just get a Narragansett can.
So first horror movie, it would either be, I don't really remember specifically, but probably Michael Myers, Freddy, or Jason. And I don't want Jason on my body, nor do I want Freddy. So
just reminder: Jason is super old. Sam, yeah, that blew your mind that first.
How
time.
old is he? When was he born?
You should just put the tombstone on yourself. Then.
1444.
Yeah,
oh,
1300s. Really? He's 400 years old.
It's crazy.
Speaking of which, Todd, they're opening the 13th filming locations again. Camp Crystal Lake from part 1.
Jersey?
Yeah, in Jersey. I think they're doing it in May and June.
That'd be so
Might be worth a trip.
For me, the first one I remember watching was A Nightmare on Elm Street, but I'm not 100% sure. You know, it's like anything, you're a kid and not really paying attention. Like I talked about a lot that Night of the Living Dead 90 was the one that got me into horror. But if I'm gonna go with A Nightmare on Elm Street, I mean, yeah, it would probably just be Freddy Krueger doing something, or I don't know. I don't have any really horror tattoos yet, but I don't think Freddy would be near the top of my list. But yeah, it'd still be really cool.
I wonder if anyone has Freddy Krueger as the Wicked Witch from.
Yeah, probably. That's got it. Has to be, right? Or
that would
the Power
be
Glove.
Funny, yeah. Right. I've seen some pretty creative ones. I would love. I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street remake tattoos, and I'm like, that's bold.
Really? Of Freddy?
Yeah.
Is it like in a collage? Like there's all like, or you know how like they do Jason's like a bunch of different masks and stuff?
Oh, no, it's just like Jackie Earle Haley's Freddy by himself. Yeah.
You know, like I think about this sometimes. It's like if you hate a movie, that's someone's favorite movie. You know, so
yeah. Sure.
You know, the Nightmare remake. I think we all enjoyed it to a certain extent. That wasn't amazing or anything, but that's someone's favorite movie out there. So it's like, wow.
Yep.
Or like Jersey Shore Shark Attack is someone's favorite movie, you know?
I mean, we just saw Rec Tumo was someone's favorite movie, apparently. So.
Yeah, right? 5 stars, yeah.
Or Kuso was someone's favorite movie.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, God.
I don't want to meet the sick fuck.
Shark Exorcist.
They were like, I'm okay with like someone being like, oh, like Nightmare on Elm Street remake is like my favorite movie. I'd be like, I would like, okay, but like I wouldn't like, but if someone's like, oh yeah, like Kuso or like Shark Exorcist is my favorite movie ever, I'd have to judge them a little extra hard for that.
Remind me what Kuso's about.
Poop. That's it. Poop. And
jizz
and semen and pimple popping and
there's no plot.
just yeah. Why? Indeed.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Yeah, and it premiered at fucking was it like Cannes or Sundance or something?
So stupid.
Like one of the big fucking film festivals. I forget which one, but damn, that must have been an interesting audience that night, if anyone actually made it to the end. So yeah, final answer. I'm gonna go with Freddy with the Power Glove because it marries two of my favorite like things, horror and video games. So I think that would be pretty cool. All right, his next question. Towards the end of Scream 5, there was a monologue about how horror fans were never happy with the end result and that we always complain or something along those lines. Do you guys think this was a necessary addition, or do you think they should have left it out?
I don't know. What's the message of this movie? It's like, I don't know. I guess we can get there later.
Yeah, I'll save my thoughts. I have many thoughts about this movie, and definitely the attack on the fandom is definitely one of them, but I'll save it.
Attack on the fandom. I mean, they are like that. You guys are like that. So they did have to include the little warning or whatever the fuck it was, because you guys always complain. You want something and then they give it to you, but you don't want it. Like, it's never good enough.
Who wanted this movie?
Not me.
Don't you dare defend Scream 5. Don't you dare.
Okay, but there were a lot of people raving about this movie.
It's crazy.
Joe and I first saw it, and I'm
like,
what? It's still high ranked on
Letterboxd. Still,
I
I still see people saying like it's the best Scream. I've seen people say it's better than the original. So
Better
if
than
you say
the
that, you're
original.
fucking high. Sorry.
I want to know how old you are. Like maybe that makes a difference.
I got my 12-year-old's review. She fucking hated it
yeah,
too.
which
So.
I'm very excited to hear her review. It's the only reason I'm here.
I love it. 5 minutes ago, we're like, "Oh, anything could be your favorite movie. We're totally okay with it."
Except Scream 5.
If it's Scream 5, fuck that. Fuck you. Like, oh, how quick we change our tune. Caleb also had a question about Scream 6, but we'll talk about that during the Scream review, at the end of the Scream review, where I guess they're making it regardless of what we think, but what we think they should do with it. So thank you, Caleb, for the questions. All right, so just the last series of questions here from Shaylin, Lil 3 Cord Me over on Discord. Hey squad, first question: what is your favorite horror anthology show and why?
Tales from the Crypt.
Yep, second that for sure.
Nothing is better than it, baby. Nothing.
Crypt Keeper, baby.
Yep. Marry me. John Cassier. What a babe.
Yep. I get a third that. Yeah, I don't think there's a better one. I mean, if we're going kids, I'll go Are You Afraid of the Dark for like intro to horror. But yeah.
Did I ever tell you guys that he commented on one of my Instagram photos?
Who's
I was
he?
wearing a what?
He?
John Cassier.
John Cassier.
Oh, John Cassier. Okay, I thought you were talking about Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, sorry. I was jumping in.
Okay.
I was wearing a Tales from the Crypt shirt, and he said, "Cool shirt," and I said, "Marry me."
He's like,
And
check
he
your
said
DMs,
no.
girl. Check your DMs.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's probably the best one. It's too bad Creepshow had a lot of potential early on there, but they did not hold up to that potential at all. The further
What do you think season 3 is gonna go? I didn't watch season 2 because you guys said it's not even worth it.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
No,
good.
it's not.
Do you think 3 will be a little bit better because maybe they got more money, or do you think it'll just keep going downhill and it'll be the last season?
I think it'll be last season. Honestly,
I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised they re-upped it after last season. It seemed like there was no creative, like, it just seemed like they were going through the motions. So we'll see.
Agreed. Her next question: have any of you ever watched Freddy's Nightmares? If you have, what's your opinion of it? Just before you guys go, I don't know if you guys heard this, but there's a new horror streaming service that's actually going to have the complete series streaming for the first time ever. I think it's called Screambox or something like that. It's I think it's the one that is from Bloody Disgusting. That I think they own that. So pretty interesting, to finally get that streaming out there. So have you guys ever watched it?
I haven't, and I've heard it's like not really worth it, honestly. Because like Freddy's not in it; he's just like introduces the episodes, like so it has really nothing to do with Nightmare on Elm Street or anything. But yeah, I mean, I definitely am intrigued. Like maybe there's some decent stories in there.
No,
I remember seeing a little bit of it when I was a kid. I'm surprised you haven't seen it, Joe.
Yeah, no. Well, there hasn't been a way to see it. Like it's never been available.
You never
anyway.
looked it up like a long time ago, or you never watched it with your mom?
No, I was too young. Like when it came out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then like I could have bought like I remember the car cons sold like the bootlegs. I remember like back in the day, like the bootleg DVD tables were a big deal. I don't even think they do that anymore because of laws and stuff like that. But I remember they would have the complete series of Freddy's Nightmare, and I would always like ask the guys, and they're like, it's really not worth $100 to buy the whole series of it. So I'm like, okay, I'll pass.
Geez, $100, fucking assholes. Should be like 30.
Yeah.
I've never seen that one, but I've seen Friday the 13th one. I have the box set.
How's that one?
It's pretty good. Nothing to do with Jason.
Yeah.
It's like this dude owns like, I forget if it's his private collection or a store, but it's all haunted shit, and then they give it away or they sell it all or something, and then they have to go find each piece and bring it back to the collection.
I saw one episode of Freddy's Nightmares. I think it was on YouTube or something. And it was basically that. It was basically Tales from the Crypt, except instead of the Crypt Keeper, it's Freddy. But the makeup isn't as good. I guess, they didn't have the budget that they would for the films, or I don't know what it was. But yeah, I mean, I'd watch it if it was streaming somewhere that I had. I'm not going to get another service just to watch it. But well, I guess we'll see. hopefully it goes to like Shudder or something one day. But
Yeah, screw you, Bloody Disgusting, for making a new service right now. Too many.
That's what all the cool kids are doing now, making their own service.
There was some big Craven news that came out today, actually. Supposedly the director's cut of Cursed has been unearthed, and they're going to be possibly releasing it.
Oh, really?
Sweet.
Yeah. Scream Factory supposedly.
I never saw the original either, so good.
Neither have I, yeah. But I've heard it's a completely different movie, so yeah.
Okay, if we can find the Night of the Living Dead one now, I'd be very happy with that. So, and also Exorcist 3. That'd be really cool to see all the cutscenes from that. All right, her next question: what is one horror movie that makes you sad every time you watch it, if any? For me, it's Poltergeist. Thinking about how young Heather O'Rourke when she died and how she died gets to me every time. Hearing the theme song alone gets to me.
Yeah, she died in the filming of part 3, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yep. Yeah, they had to use like a body double for like half the movie, which you can tell.
The what's it called? Where John Landis fucked up and killed 3 people.
Twilight Zone.
Set?
Twilight
Zone, yeah. Vic Morrow and those 2 children.
Yep.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm. And they kept a segment in the movie.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
John Landis is a piece of shit.
Yeah. So, any movies make you guys sad?
Yeah, it's a sequel. You may have heard of it. It's called
Scream.
Scream 5.
Well, I Know What You Did Last Summer too, because I'm the only one who loves it, and it makes me sad.
Why does it make you sad? Because Jack Black.
That
died?
I'm the only one who loves it. I just said. You
Okay.
didn't get my joke.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Bye.
Oh, come on. Brandy was in it. I'm sad about that movie because Brandy and Jack Black were in that horror movie. But-
Whatever. You're just jealous. You're a hater.
I hate drinking that haterade.
I'm gonna go 1 hour photo. To this day, I can't watch anything with Robin Williams because it makes me sad. I don't know why. That celebrity death more than any has really deeply affected me. So, yeah, but one day I'll get back to watching his movies. Maybe more as comedy than 1 hour photo again because
you gotta watch Miss Doubtfire again.
Yeah,
It's so good.
I love Miss Doubtfire.
Watch it like every year. It's so good.
It's so good. Yeah.
Matthew Lawrence.
What?
What?
Matthew Lawrence.
Is that the kid?
He's in this is yeah.
Come
No,
on.
the other son.
The son.
You guys don't know Matthew Lawrence.
No.
The 90s con is doing all 3 kids. It's like a Mrs. Doubtfire reunion.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, and the final question this week: what was the worst date you ever went on?
Oh. Man, I don't know. I can't think of any like really bad dates. Like none of them were that bad where it brought like memories or anything. So yeah, I got nothing.
Well, one that jumps out to me is that this girl asked me to prom, but I was already with this other girl, and she kidnapped me and took me to her house in the middle of nowhere in like the desert. And her dad had a weird crush on her, and then she comes out, and then we're eating dinner, and he's gonna drill a hole in my brain. I escaped eventually, but that really was a bad day.
Todd.
What?
Sam was like really into that story. She thought it was true. Like I could.
When you just I knew after you said desert, I was like, oh, I see.
The loved ones, awesome.
At first, I thought you were saying a story that maybe Steve had talked about because he has.
No, he's got the milkmaiden ones. I don't have bad ones really.
I don't think I have any bad ones either. My prom date was actually the worst date ever in my life, but I'm not gonna get into that.
Listen to Let's Not. She goes into that story on that one.
Mm-hmm.
My prom date stood me up. So.
Oh no!
How dare them?
Yeah.
Their loss.
Yep.
Their loss.
So instead of going with her, I ended up like bumming a ride with 5 other single guys in a van to go to the prom, and then got just absolutely fucking shit faced. So my worst
was
date.
She at the prom though?
No, she wasn't in my school.
Oh.
Apparently, her girlfriend was mad that I was bringing her on at the prom. It was like a whole thing. So.
Wait, I have a date story I can share.
Oh, go ahead.
Kind of sad. Okay, so this was when I was working at the Humane Society. There was a guy that started working there, and at the time, it was like a small shelter and it was mainly just women. Either you were a straight woman or you were a lesbian, and like everyone pretty much dated everyone. And so we had a guy that started and everyone thought he was like the cutest thing. And apparently he thought I was the cutest thing. So he asked me out and I was like, sure, I'll go out to dinner or whatever. Let's make it a little early so I can get into bed at a normal time. So we end up going to Olive Garden. And I really didn't know much about him. I just knew that everyone at the shelter liked him and they were like, he's really a great guy. Like, you should get to know him. So we're eating, and he then tells me that he was on parole and that he just got out of jail. And I didn't know, like, I don't know. I just kind of say whatever's at the top of my head. So I said, what did you do? Kill someone? Like, just joking. And he goes, yeah. He's like, I actually did kill someone. And I was like, what? I was like, oh my God, what do you mean you killed someone? And he was like, I actually killed my best friend because I was driving drunk. And I was like, whoa, this date has like taken a turn. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. And I don't know. I always think about his story. It's crazy.
Did you give him a kiss?
No, I didn't. I gave him a hug because I was like, this is kind of awkward.
Yeah, that's pretty awkward.
I mean, I was trying to be fucking funny and then
backfired.
yeah, lesson learned. I'm not even gonna crack any jokes anymore.
My worst date. So I decided to do online dating for the first time, and some of my friends had success with it, some of them not so much. So I decided to give it a shot, and I met this young, really pretty attractive girl. We hit it off a little bit like on the chats, but she like pretty quickly asked to go on a date, which was odd because most of them like they wait a week or two of chatting before asking to meet. I'm like, yeah, sure. So we decided to go to a bowling alley, and so I meet her at the bowling alley, and everything seems right. Like, it was the right picture, thank God. It was like the actual person. It wasn't a catfish, which is always a concern when you're dating online. And so I paid for 3 games for each of us, and we go and start bowling. So we're playing the first game, and she starts talking about, like, I don't know, it's like her relative, I forget which relative, probably her mom or something, was sick and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, that's really sad. And that's all she's talking about kind of the whole first game. And like, I get it, it's probably on top of your mind if you have a sick relative, but on a first date, it's kind of an awkward, thing to talk about, like when you don't really know the person. And then we start the second game, and she hits me with, so I'm just going to get cut right to the chase. I need like $250 because she needs this thing. And in my mind, I'm like, this is not supposed to be something that happens in person. This is the type of thing that like someone does to you online, like on Lava Life or something like that, not in person. So I'm like, look, I don't know you. I'm not going to just give you money. And then she has like a epic meltdown in front of everyone at the bowling alley. You're like, you're fucking asshole. I fucking hate you. You're fake. And then she just like storms off. And all the other people are like stopped their game and are looking at me. And they're like kind of waiting to see what my next move is going to be. So I'm like super embarrassed because I hate getting attention to myself and stuff like that. So I didn't know what to do. Like, what do you do in that situation? I'm not going to chase her. I don't care. I'm actually happy she's gone. So I fucking finished those 2 bowling games. And I'm like, I paid for them. So yeah.
So you bowled twice for her and for you the whole time?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of bowling, dude.
Well, I used to bowl competitively at the time. So
look at Steve setting himself up to get some points. Yeah, we can go bowling, and he's doing strikes.
No kidding.
Oh no. Actually, I don't want to say it, but
say it.
Like,
say it.
I that was always like, bowling was my go-to first date, just because it's like something to do.
It's kind of an awkward first date, though. You got to bend over with your little booty out.
I hate bowling on a date.
Yeah. Plus, you're awkward physically, so you don't want to like. You're already kind of stiff, and you got to fucking do this shit.
You don't want to get too into it because you might slip and fall and break your asshole.
Yep.
Anyway, it was my go-to, but
Wow.
I never like played well on dates. I kind of sandbagged a
What
little
a
bit.
guy. What a guy you are.
I'd take him to the batting cages. Then.
I'm not gonna like start
the
pulling out
best
my
dating
fucking bowling
stories.
balls and like my little fucking sack there. That you like buffing my ball and all that shit. You know, on a first date, I don't want to be that guy. Like, so.
Oh my god. Okay, but how did you tell her no? Were you just like did you answer her right off the bat, or were you shocked? Like,
no, I was shocked. I was like speechless because I really didn't see it coming. You know,
wow.
In my mind, that's the kind of con that people do online. It's not a con that they actually bring you out to do. You know, so I was kind of shocked
offer
at
you
first.
like sexual favors, and then in the middle of it, like, I need $250. Like,
It was weird. It was out of nowhere. It was kind of scary.
Or at least ask over dinner.
Or something. I don't know. It was weird, and it shook me a little bit. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do this online dating anymore.
Shook me.
or like make Steve fall in love with her for like a month, then ask for $250.
Oh my god, Steve. I was literally like biting my cheeks because I just knew it. I was like, where's this going? I was trying not to laugh, but I was like, this is gonna be funny.
Yeah. But it's funny how things work out, because right after, it was my birthday, like the week after, and this girl popped up on my feed because I used to be on something called OkCupid, and they send you something called a quiver, which is based off your answers. They recommend 3 people per week. It's like, these are the people you should, you know, message. And I kind of looked at them. One of them was like attractive. I'm like, I don't think I want to do this thing anymore. So I kind of put it away. And after a week, they reset. So my birthday came around, and it was the last day of that week. And I kind of look at them like, fuck it. You know what? I'm just going to message her. I don't think they're all that crazy. And I married her. So,
Aww.
yeah, it was, so I got lucky after, but
maybe she's doing the long con on you. Now she's going to ask you.
Yeah,
for
you better wait.
yeah, she's milked me for way more than $250, boy. Yeah, no, she's yeah, so that's my
that.
Yeah, the online dating is not, I do not envy people who online date, especially now. Like, this was early online dating.
Yeah.
This is like 2009. It was a different online dating. Now, fuck it, no way. I'd rather be single, I think.
Yep. Does your wife have any crazy stories that you guys kind of shared while you were getting to know each other?
She didn't. I was the first person that she that she tried online dating with. But I do have one thing that was funny is she did tell me about a guy who messaged her, and she showed me who that guy was. And all of my female friends who were also online dating had all been messaged by this same guy.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
This guy had been around my town, and it was
hey,
it was
miss
like
every shot you don't take.
Right. Exactly.
Something's gonna stick.
Right.
No, that's too much.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's weird how things work out. I actually talked to someone, and the reason I didn't go out with her was because she wanted to move to Ottawa. I lived in Montreal at the time, and I'm like, no, that's crazy. I don't want to move to Ottawa. And sure enough, I marry this person and moved to Ottawa with her. So weird how things
I think
out.
we need a dating story segment every episode. Steve's story corner.
I don't have that many. It's
Whatever. Every single time you're like, actually, I do have one.
no, it's well, if you really listen to them, it's a lot of the same people that keep kind of coming up. You know,
That's okay. They're still entertaining.
The milk farmer will come out quite a bit. She was on another level. Like, books could be written about that 8-month relationship. So
it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Wow.
So on that note, I think it's time to have a little hot sauce with
Silk City hot sauce.
Silk City.
Greetings, Spice fans. Silk City Hot Sauce is now sponsoring the Dorkening Podcast Network. Our craft sauces are made in Vermont in small, high-quality batches using locally sourced, farm-grown ingredients. Silk City Hot Sauce comes in a variety of heat strengths and killer flavors like Jezebel, Erotic Fever, Mango Madness, and Good Morning Jonestown. And don't forget our newest creation, Hot Syrup. Make no mistakes, Spice fans, this is the queen of sweet heat. There's new and unique flavors coming out all the time. Best of all, right now, listeners of the Dorkening Podcast Network can go to silkcityhotsauce.com and use coupon code DORK. Not only will you get 20% off your order, we'll also throw in a free bottle of hot sauce. That's SilkCityHotSauce.com. Coupon code DORK.
What watch?
Yes.
You guys got anything?
We don't actually, but we do have something. It's just not horror related. I didn't watch any horror this week, unfortunately. But I did start The Mutilator last night, and I'll give my thoughts on that next week. But Sam and I started a new show. Sam, you want to discuss it? Jump in on it?
Why do I have to do it? All right. So you guys know that my current obsession in life is Tom Holland, which also means I'm obsessed with Zendaya. So I was scrolling Facebook, you know how sometimes there's just those like videos that play automatically. There was a small clip of Zendaya from a show on HBO, you may have heard of it, called Euphoria. And it was like a 45-second clip, and just her acting alone, I was like, holy shit, like I need to watch this show. So I asked Joe, I was like, Joe, I'm going to start Euphoria. Been hearing a lot of good things about it because season 2 just started. Zendaya won an Emmy for it last season. Like, I'm ready to dive into the hole. And so he saw that it was a coming of age show. So he's like, I love that kind of shit. So yeah, I'll watch it. So we started watching that. We breezed through season 1, and Joe is also excited because it's produced by A24, and it is like the most beautiful show that my eyeballs have ever seen. It's like all of the camera angles, even the music, even the wardrobe is just all so amazing. Like, it's just beautifully tied in together. Zendaya's acting is like out of this world. Like, it's crazy. It's a good show. That's what we've been watching.
Yeah. I was it's not meant for like, it's definitely, I think, geared more towards like a female audience. And I also think it's geared more towards a younger audience, but I'm enjoying it a lot. Like, some of the camera shots are quite beautiful. Like, it's very impressive. Like, whoever's doing the cinematography for this, because I don't even think the show is like directed by the same director every episode, but man, they keep it so simpatico. It's just very impressive, and yeah, I mean, it's just A24 can do no wrong in my eyes, and this show is, yeah, it's very good. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. It's probably not going to be for everyone, but I think it handles like drug addiction extremely realistically. So yeah, I mean, I definitely, I would recommend it as well.
Special points for Joe with his new word that he used. I appreciate that.
Simpatico, yeah.
Yeah.
What word was that?
You like that? Simpatico?
Can I have it in a sentence, please?
Exactly. What does that
Um,
mean? Tell us. Let's learn something.
I mean, I think it just like means that like it just kind of like all meshes together. Like, that's how I was using it. Like,
You heard it here, kids.
All right.
All right, my first one is The Last Matinee. I think Joe watched this one.
I did,
Over
and Steve,
on
we
Shudder. Yeah, both
we
of you?
interviewed the director. Yeah.
Awesome. Super cool. From from Argentina, and I liked it a lot, man. I really liked the setting was cool. It's about this random serial killer that decides to invade a movie theater and start killing off the patrons and the workers and everything like that. You got this young girl that's like she just wants to study, and she's sucked into the world of this guy, and I liked it a lot. Did I have issues with it? Sure. I think it could have been a little bit faster and and stayed on pace, things like that. But I like the aesthetic. I liked how it was random, and I just thought it was a cool time. Plus, it's always nice to see a foreign film that's pretty good and not just artsy and fartsy and stuff like that. So, Last Matinee over on Shudder.
Yeah, it's a good one, and it's nice to see something from Argentina. We don't see a lot from that there.
Yeah.
So very cool. My first one this week is one I briefly talked about last week, but now I have finished it, and that is over on Netflix. It's the Korean zombie TV series called All of Us Are Dead. This one is a group of students are in a school, and all of a sudden the zombie outbreak happens while they're in the school, and they're stuck in the classes and have to try to survive and get out of the city before the zombies overtake them and stuff like that. It also follows a few other groups in like key points of the city, like the police and one of the students' like parents who run some chicken shop and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just, man, wow. Okay, fucking Koreans and zombies, man, they just know how to do it. This show is fantastic. Like, it is very, very good. If you like Train to Busan or #Alive, you are gonna fucking love this. It's got the same energy. It's got the same fast, infected-ish type zombies that they have in those movies. It's fucking brutal. It's bloody. It's gory. It's scary at times, and it's so good. Like, I cannot recommend this TV show enough. It's like really something that all horror fans need to check out. So that's All of Us Are Dead over on Netflix.
Are they high school age or college age? What are we
It's high
working
school.
with?
They're in high school. Yeah.
Dude, Koreans, man, I think they've surpassed my second favorite language for movies now. It used to be Italian. I think Koreans got it, man.
And lately,
Yeah,
they're on fire.
killing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Todd, it's back to you. They only had one.
Oh, back to me. Another 90s shot on video VHS tape by J.R. Bookwalter called Zombie Cop. This one is about a police officer that is killed, but not before he takes out a voodoo guy that casts a curse on him. This one commits to some pretty out-of-date racism stuff going on. So that was kind of out of the blue. They have an Indian shopkeeper that's in brownface, played by a white male, and it was, yeah, you know what, we're in 2022 and this was made in 91, so a little bit different time. The movie itself is extremely low budget. You got like very low speed car chases. You have terrible acting. Like the guy that plays the voodoo doctor, his accent comes and goes whenever he can not pronounce a word in a voodoo accent or whatever Jamaican accent. Then he goes to whatever part of the country in America he's from. But it's fun. If you like this old stuff that, you know, I've said it before, shot on video and has a lot of love, you can tell the filmmakers are having fun, I would suggest them. So most of these are on Tubi, and that's Zombie Cop.
Tubi. This episode is sponsored by Tubi. No, it's not.
Should be.
And sponsored by Sam's Planners. Get yours before they're sold out. Which they are.
Thank you, Todd. And also sponsored by Todd's Books. He's currently working on another one to add to the collection. Get your books, Amazon. Support your local writers.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And also, okay, Cupid, don't sign up because you might meet someone who asks you for money.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So my last one this week is
OnlyFans.
Right. Is over on Tubi, of course. This is from 2016 and it's called Carousel. So this is a super low budget film about a carousel horse at an amusement park that is sick and tired of being abused by children by having people like sit on it and putting their boogers on it and like slapping it and stuff like that. So the carousel comes to life and starts fucking just brutalizing everyone in the town. This is like one of those films that you have to know what you're getting into. Like, you can't take this one seriously at all. It's in the same vein as like Killer Sofa and stuff like that, where it's super ridiculous. It's very low budget, so don't expect a lot of great camera work and, you know, cinematography and stuff like that. But I gotta say, I liked it. Like, this is the good kind of bad film, you know? The human stuff, I think, is pretty bad and annoying. Like, the characters, I really didn't like them. There's two characters in particular. I named them the beads guy and the pizza delivery guy. They're just like really one note, and I really couldn't. I every time they were on screen, I was just, I can't wait till the carousel horse fucking kills them. But every time that Duke is the carousel horse, comes on screen, it's fucking pure gold. And I had a lot of fun watching it. I think it's just one of those things like Killer Sofa that I really enjoyed. And yeah, I actually recommend this one. If you're into one of those stupid, killer slasher films, this is one I think you should check out. So that's Carousel over on Tubi.
Okay, but that actually sounds pretty fun.
It is fun. Like, I'm telling you, every time that Duke is on screen, I laughed. It's just so ridiculous, and it's even shot like super low budget. You know, it's like just obviously someone just holding him into the camera's view, but it works.
There's a sex scene,
well.
Isn't there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Duke gets laid at some point. So
Didn't we have that director on, Joe, like 4 years ago?
No, we were supposed to, and then it
No, we
just
didn't.
never. We didn't. We were supposed to interview him, but we never did.
And that What Watch segment was sponsored by YouTube. Halloween happy. Come subscribe, smash that like button. Trivia time.
Love it.
I did take away 1 point from Steve per the listeners' feedback.
That's right.
And then I didn't know if I was supposed to give one to Sam.
one to
Joe.
Sam.
One to Sam. Okay. One to Sam.
She did mouth the answer before, like a good solid 2 seconds before Joe answered it. So.
Wait, did you give me the point though, too? The
No.
one you took away from Steve was supposed to go to me, I thought.
No, it didn't go to anyone because no one guessed the right answer.
Oh. No, he said I guess Phantom of the Opera.
Did you?
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did say Joe gets a point.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think there's
let me add that.
collision. Actually, you know what? It's actually wrong though. Yeah,
you don't have to give me the point.
I looked it up, and Phantom of the Opera is not the first Universal monster movie. It's actually Hunchback of Notre Dame.
No one wins.
All right, no points.
If you go into short films, Hyde. So Jekyll and Hyde is actually the first one. But if you go to full-length feature ones, Hunchback is actually the very first one from 1921, and Phantom of the Opera is 1923.
It's not Godzilla, I guessed.
No, it's not Godzilla. Unfortunately.
I think everyone would guess Dracula though, and not be wrong, personally.
Right.
All right. The current standings are Joe in a commanding 13, first place. Sam 12, second place. Steve 10, myself 9. We also changed up the policy, whatever you want to call it, the way we're doing things. So we're switching to a quarterly beat down. So for example, if I lose this quarter, doesn't the winner have to choose punishments for each loser, right?
That's right.
So we're gonna do it quarterly because it makes it more exciting because we keep going back and forth with the winning. So it's be awesome. So at the end of the March, we're gonna figure out who's the losers and the
I'm
winner.
gonna be the one that gets punished every quarter.
You're in second right now.
You're in second
right
place.
now.
Yeah.
All right.
The momentum is in your favor.
We're switching it up a little bit, so the stakes are higher because it's only 3 months per round. So it's any man or woman's game.
Everyone got tired of Todd winning.
Even me.
No.
I'm just playing. No, it makes it more fun. This would be more exciting.
Todd,
All right,
did
I'll
you
go
get anything
first.
from the full moon sale?
I did. Yeah. Well,
Nice.
with Joe and Sammy's payment, I got a bunch of Blu-rays, and once they come in, because they take forever to ship after Valentine's Day because they're swamped, I will show them to you guys.
Did you get Attack of the 50-Foot Cam Girl?
I did not. I'm gonna skip that one.
Did you get
All right.
the
All right, I'll
Corona
start.
Zombies trilogy?
I
Oh
did.
yeah, there you
I
go.
got that one signed and the poster.
Poster is actually the best part. So.
Yeah. Go for it.
All right, y'all start us off. All righty. So first question. These are all Joe originals.
Ooh, I like
tonight.
that.
Oh.
Daddy
Yes.
likes that.
Thank you. But thank you. Kayla did send me some questions, but I'm going to save them for next week. All right. So first question. What is the real name of the goat that played Black Phillip?
Randy. Randy the goat.
Cuddles.
Bob. I don't know.
All great guesses, but the correct answer is Charlie.
Charlie.
Of course.
Well, I had 2 syllables in Randy, so technically I get the
That
point.
gets the point.
I wonder if they do tours there. That is actually not too far from where I live, where they filmed that. So I'm wondering if they open it up for people if I asked to find
He's
out.
still living.
Yeah, well, at least the farm.
What's the lifespan of a goat?
I don't know. I feel like at least 7 years, right?
7 years. Yeah, he might still be alive then.
All right.
I'm not sure.
Kayla. An American Haunting is a film based on a book with the same title of the entity that is believed to possess John's daughter. What is the name of the entity? So what's the name of the bad spirit in American Haunting?
I've only seen that movie once. Is that the one with Donald Sutherland?
I don't even think I've seen this one, to be honest.
Yeah. I confuse all those haunting movies.
I know. I'm just thinking of Connecticut, Haunting in Connecticut.
Yeah.
The eyelashes, eyelids.
I'm not even gonna venture a guess.
Blanks.
here.
Bob.
Wilfred.
Bob and Wilfred. The answer is The Bell Witch.
Oh,
Ah,
Would've
that's
got that
cooler
one.
than I thought.
Okay.
All right, I'll go next. So mine are all from Kayla.
Kayla.
In what 2008 Australian mockumentary horror film does a family try to understand what really happened to their daughter during a family trip?
Lake Mungo.
Correct.
Yay.
Yeah, that is correct.
I've never seen that. Is it good?
I didn't
didn't
love
like it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of hype.
Too much
though.
happening. Too much happening.
Anyone famous in it?
No.
No.
I don't think
Not
so.
really. Yeah, no.
It's very highly praised though. Yeah,
It
it
is,
has a
yeah.
pretty good rating. Yeah. I found it rather boring more than anything.
Alrighty. This week's trivia also comes from Kayla. Gonna start off with a match the quote to the movie. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All
Love it.
right. Why have you disturbed our sleep, awakened us from our ancient slumber?
Huh.
Is it Ernest Scared Stupid?
It's a good guess.
It's not that. But
Could be. It could be Steve.
Eternal Living Dead.
Return of the
Ghostbusters.
Living Dead. Ghostbusters. That's gonna be a negative. It's The Evil Dead.
Oh.
Darn it.
Fake fan, Todd. Favorite horror movie.
I
Didn't
know.
even know.
Shoot. Damn it. Fuck.
I wanted to
All
read it in
right.
the voice, but I didn't know what that voice sounded like. So
All right.
It's like a lot of screaming. Why have you disturbed our slumber?
With the excitement of Jordan Peele's Nope, I've decided to do a Jordan Peele based question tonight.
There's only 2 movies to
All right.
choose from.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I saw so many people that were like the horror community online, of course, just like bashing on Jordan Peele. And they're like, you know, Get Out was great and Us sucked, and they're like, he's really going downhill. I was like, he's only made 2 movies. Like, how could he be going downhill?
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't think Us was as good as Get Out, obviously, but not
no,
enough to be saying he's downhill yet.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just
Right.
give him like 2
Yeah.
more before we M. Night Shyamalan him.
people
Right.
are
Well,
insane.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the problem is people are also pigeonhole him with Candyman, even though he didn't direct it. He people,
Yeah.
you know, he did write the screenplay for it though. But I can't believe how many people disliked Candyman too. Like, it was a lot more than I expected. But all right, let's get to the question.
He wrote that? Like,
In
legit
Us,
wrote it?
yeah, he wrote it. Yeah. All right, so in Us, what number keeps appearing throughout the film?
2.
11.
13.
Sam is correct. It is 11. 11 to be exact.
Fuck the police. No. It's a good scene.
Mhm.
Alexa, call the police.
Right, Todd?
All right, Kayla, match the killer to the movie.
Ooh,
Oh,
Buffy St. John.
that's a killer, huh?
That's a
Buffy
killer.
St. John.
This movie I've only seen once. I don't know, probably
So I
ever
probably
once,
haven't even
so
seen it.
just got some zingers this week. This
Yeah,
movie
tough one.
is
Interview with the Vampire.
negative.
Can you give us
April-
a decade?
April Fool's.
April Fool's
Yeah, you
Day.
said it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Never mind. All right, yeah.
And she said trick question because that's kind of a trick movie. But
Yeah.
It is a trick movie. Good movie though.
It is a
Oh.
good movie.
it's got Biff Tannen in it, doesn't it? Back to the Future.
Does it?
Does it?
I think it does. Maybe that's
Oh,
Happy
wow.
Birthday to Me. I know he's in one of those movies.
I don't think it's April Fool's Day.
Oh, let me look it up.
I don't recall him either, but all right, while you look it up, I'll ask my question. So it's also matched a killer to the movie.
Love it.
Jeremy Melton.
Jeremy Melton.
Hmm.
The fuck is that?
A Bloody Valentine.
No.
No, it's close though.
Oh,
Oh,
don't say
it's
that.
close. She's close. What?
Close.
Jeremy Melton. My Bloody Valentine's close.
Wish
The
I would have
fuck?
had a clue before I fucking guessed.
But you can still guess. Guess again.
The House of Wax.
Wrong.
What was I looking up before I?
Yeah, Biff Tannen.
I don't know.
What's the fucking movie?
Sam, you want to get?
Wait,
guess?
No, I don't know.
All right, so you were very close. It's just Valentine.
Man, fuck that movie.
Trickster.
Sam liked
Trickster.
I've never seen it. Is it good?
that one. It wasn't. No. I didn't
What?
like
Was
it.
that the one we saw in theater somewhere, Joe?
No, that's the one with what's her face is in. You like
Rebecca
that
Gayheart?
movie. Yeah. Yeah,
Angel's in that, isn't
90s.
he?
Yes.
Yeah, an angel. Yeah. It's not
Yeah,
good.
Tom Wilson, aka Biff Tannen, is in
Oh, interesting.
that movie.
April Fool's Day.
I don't remember
Okay,
that at all.
Yeah,
Wow.
cool.
All right,
Sammy's
Sam?
turn.
Yep.
All righty. Listen carefully. I feel like you guys are going to know this. All right. What state does Leprechaun take place in?
California.
Ooh, apparently not.
Can I get
Uh,
a second guess after?
Nevada.
All right. Second guesses.
New Mexico?
Arizona.
What did you say, Steve?
New Mexico.
What's your second guess, Joe?
My second guess, Iowa.
All right. You guys are all wrong. It's North Dakota.
North Dakota. Cool.
I thought it was more deserty than that.
He goes to Nevada. He goes to Nevada.
Yeah,
in the sequel.
part 2 or 3 he goes to it goes to
Vegas,
Vegas,
yeah.
right?
It goes to space too, but we're not.
Yeah.
He does.
Which
Again with the fucking
don't think
US
I've seen.
geography questions.
Steve's
It's like a recurring-
only been to like 4 states, so we got to narrow them down to
Yeah.
those 4.
I kind of wish they'd make another Leprechaun. The last one wasn't so bad. With,
Oh, it's pretty cool.
What's his face? Lyndon Porco.
Yeah, he's good.
Better than
Yeah.
the one before it. Ooh, Origins.
Oh yeah. All right, my last one tonight is a quote. You got to give me the character and the movie.
Okay.
Character and the movie. Got it.
Yes. All right. Well, surprise, surprise. Someone dies and Gail comes running.
Randy, Scream 2.
Incorrect.
Dewey, Scream 3.
Correct.
Dewey,
Yes!
Scream
Ah,
5.
Yeah, boy. And he's just like, I'm just here, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I bought you that purse. All right. In the movie, The Crazies. So we got the original Romero
say.
and the remake with Timothy Olyphant.
Mhm.
People end up going crazy and kill each other off. But what is the cause of it? I need
Chemicals.
the
Water.
name of the chemical.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
right track there, Joe.
Plutonium?
No. 1.21
Agent-
gigawatts.
Fluoride.
Water.
Fluoride, water, plutonium, all incorrect. It is Trixie.
Trixie. Damn.
Trixie. The Romero one's excellent.
Mhm.
I've not seen it.
I
I am a fan of
I-
the remake. I love it.
I was gonna
Remake's good
say
too.
I remember the remake being pretty good too. Yeah.
All right. Last one for me. Reverend Cotton Marcus was the character followed in which movie? A 2010 mockumentary involving a demon named Abalam.
Mm. The Last Exorcism.
Correct.
Yeah, boy.
Good job,
Nice.
Todd.
Thank you. Excellent movie.
Good one.
It is an
Yeah.
excellent-
Very, very good.
All right. I'm going to reword this one, so bear with me.
Oh no.
You guys will get it if I read how she sent it in. Okay.
In 1876.
Stop, Todd. I had it before it was my turn.
Oh,
Okay,
Well,
fine.
wait,
I'll
let
just
me
read it how
have
it
some of
is.
this.
Just be the first to answer. Okay.
okay.
Joe already knows it. All right.
I do.
The A24 film The
Oh.
Lighthouse was released in 2019 and nominated for what Oscar?
Cinematography.
Oh, Todd got it.
Yay.
Damn straight deserved it.
Best jizz on screen. Willem Dafoe. All right. That concludes tonight. Joe and Steve with the goose eggs. Sam with 1. Myself coming out swinging tonight with 4. That brings us to a 3-way tie. Todd, Sam, and Joe at 13. Steve at 10. And yeah, we got a month and a half left before the punishment.
I'm scared.
You better be scared. Scream?
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right. Scream, also known as Scream 5, 25 years after a streak of brutal murders shocked the quiet town of Woodsboro, a new killer has donned the Ghostface mask and begins targeting a group of teenagers to resurrect secrets from the town's deadly past. All right, so this one starts off traditionally like the other ones. We have a young girl in a house alone. She's texting somebody, or is she? Oh, preface this too. Like, if you haven't seen it, we're going to spoil the crap out of it. So if you haven't seen it yet, stop listening, come back later. So yeah, a young girl's in the house and she starts texting people. And of course, there's a random dude that calls her. supposed to be her mom's boyfriend, but no, it's fucking Ghostface. They're having a nice conversation, and then traditional things start happening. I gotta say, this was an amazing kill, but wait, it wasn't a kill. They duped us. They brutally freaking stabbed this girl to death, allegedly, and then the next scene she's fine, which fucking pissed me off right away in this movie because it was an awesome opening kill. I'm like, dude, they're going brutal with this. I'm in, and then they don't. Then traditionally, like, we're introducing the rest of the characters. Dewey is estranged from Gail. He's now living in a trailer. He's kind of a loser, to be honest with you. Gail's off in wherever, New York or something, being a big time newscaster now. Cindy's off the grid. She's married to the guy from part 3 of The Cop. She has 2 daughters. And then the sheriff deputy, I forget her name, but she's now the actual sheriff in Woodsboro from part 4. And she has her son, which is kind of like the main group of friends now. And killings start happening again. And now we got to figure out who it is. I mean, the same fucking plot as every other Scream movie. Killings start happening. Who is it? Let's fucking drag Sydney in. Let's drag Dewey back. Let's get someone's mom in there. Let's do it. And that's where we're at. Went with my daughter. Had a great time. And I guess we'll leave it at that.
Can I start?
Do it.
Just because I know Joe will say a lot of the same things that I was thinking when I'm trying to beat him. All right. So Scream 5. I was super, super excited to see this. Like, I was like, it's going to be the best horror movie of the year. Let's go. Scream franchise, I love so much. Very big fan of Scream 1. I love, love, love it. Okay. So I didn't really know too much going in. Just I watched one trailer and that was it. I've stayed away from reviews. I stayed away from everything. So the opening scene when it's Tara Carpenter, I don't know, there was something about right when this movie started, like within 5 minutes, I was already rolling my eyes, unfortunately, and just looking at the walls. Wait, I'm like, when is this over with? I just feel like the kill scene that we got with Casey in the first one was so fucking scary and just fucked up that I was like, Ghostface better bring it this year. And the kill was so lackluster. It was like so boring, so lame. And then what? We were introduced to Tara's sister, Sam. I gotta say, I was not attached to her. I didn't really care about her. I'm sure we'll kind of like pick it apart. So let me try to give an overall thing. Okay, so I was like, am I too old for the Scream franchise now? What am I missing? What's going on? Like, it literally was just, I was like, I've seen this movie so many times. I didn't give a crap about Gail and Dewey breaking up for the millionth time. Like, you guys are both toxic at this point. Like, jump off a bridge. You're better without each other. Like, just stop. Sydney, obviously, I wish we would have got more of her, but Nev's probably like, you bitches can't pay me enough. I really loved the character of Wes Hicks, who was Judy Hicks's son. I wish that he would have been in it more. I felt like he got killed off way too early, way too early. Also, when his mom was dying in the middle of the fucking sidewalk on a Tuesday afternoon when it's sunny, literally Ghostface is stabbing her and no one in the neighborhood is even doing anything about it, but cool, whatever.
Can I stop you right there, Sam?
Yes.
Exactly. That scene took so damn long to unfold. I'm like, dude, where are all the fucking neighbors? Plus, she called her backup. Where are the fucking cops? We know there's murders going on, and this is the fucking sheriff calling you, and there's no cops for like 5 minutes, and this motherfucker's making sushi.
There's no way.
Damn. No way.
Sorry that I'm kind of like going into the separate things. I just know I'll forget if I don't say them now. I really did not appreciate, and I did not fucking need little visions of Billy Loomis telling his daughter, grab the knife to survive. Like, it was so lame. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, give me a break. What else can I say about this? I don't really know. I was kind of let down. I was really let down, you know? And then also I was like, well, maybe I need to revisit Scream 1. Like, maybe I've just missed the charm. Like, I don't remember the charm. And so I watched Scream 1 and I'm like, I don't know. Now I'm just second guessing my whole life right now. So someone else can take over.
Scream 1's still good to you, right?
Yeah, it is. But I felt like Okay, so what happened is I think we watched like Scream 1 and 2 and 3, and then I watched 4. And after seeing 4 freshly, I was like, okay, I do kind of get why 5 was the way that it was. I felt like 4 is very it's cheesy, like it's a little different than 1, I personally think. So I was like, I was able to digest 5 a little bit. Like it seemed more possible, but God, it was literally the same fucking movie. I didn't like. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Someone else can go.
I didn't like a lot about this. And I disagree just with the first part, Sam. I thought the kill in the beginning was cool just because it was brutal.
Why?
I thought it was brutal. Like, I'm like, oh, cool. Like, stabbed her through her hand, flipped her over, stepped on her, broke her leg. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But then it, like the Halloween H2O cutting off Michael Myers' head, completely wasted because she survived some fucking hell.
Yeah.
She's a
Okay,
skinny
so
little chick and she gets stabbed multiple times and she's good.
yeah,
I'm like, what?
you are right about that, Todd, because I do remember I was rolling my eyes and then he stabbed in the hand, kicked in the ankle, and then I peeked up again. I was like,
Mhm.
oh yeah. I was like, okay. But then yeah, she was
It's
fine
all
the
for
next
nothing.
day.
Yeah, she's wheeling herself around the hospital fine. The main girl was so wooden. It was so bad. Like her, I don't know. I don't want to hate on, her job, but her performance was just very bland. And for her to be the new, I guess, potential Scream Queen, I was like, ugh, no. And then I guess the good stuff first. Not a lot.
I
Not a
like
lot.
forgot about some of the movie. I'm like, what did I watch?
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah. I'll let Steve go last since he was the freshest one, because I know the rest of us hadn't seen it in a month, so I'm sure Steve has a lot more to say about it because it's fresh in his brain. But yeah, I echo you guys. I was very, very disappointed with this one. To me, this is easily the worst Scream out of all 5 of them. And I'm gonna echo a lot of the same what you said, except for the opening scene. I thought the opening scene was actually really good. Here is the problem with the opening scene, though. If you saw the trailer, it took any and all of the surprises and tension away. Now, because they played like that whole opening scene in the trailer. But I do still think it was a very effective opening scene. I thought it was a great opening scene. I thought it was a good way to open the movie. Ghostface is super brutal in this movie, which is definitely one of the more positives of the entire movie for me. Just brutal kills like all the way around, more brutal than any of the other Screams. And I actually liked that they didn't kill her. I thought it was like a nice kind of trick that they played, because you expect her to die. And the fact that they didn't kill her, I thought was kind of a nice, something different, right? Because like every Scream movie is exactly the same. It was nice that they tried to do something a little different there. And I gotta say, I think they made a huge mistake by not making her the main character, new Scream Queen, because I think Jenna Ortega is a great actress, and I think if she carried the torch rather than than Sam, her sister, I think would have been the right choice. Like, I think they really dropped the ball on that one, because I think the new Sydney, who are we supposed to, I guess, which is Sam, is awful. Like, I did not connect with her one like iota. Like, I did not like her character whatsoever. So going forward, if she's supposed to be the new Sydney, I think this franchise is in big trouble, because I just don't think she's a great actress. Like, not, I'm sorry, but I just don't think she is. And I just don't think she's an interesting enough character. Like, I know, okay, she's Billy's, daughter, which is like the big reveal we get here.
Give me a fucking break. I'm sorry to interrupt you. That was such a stupid plot point. Really?
The ghost Billy was so dumb.
He
like,
nodded at the knife. He's like, fucking knife right there, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here, ghost Billy, you bitch.
Yeah.
And he just looks so weird. Like, they tried to put makeup on him, like, to make him look younger, and it did not work. Like, I don't know what you could have done here. Like, it was cool. Like, it was a cool idea, right? Like, okay, let's bring like Billy back, but it just did not work for me, like, at all. And I heard like these directors saying that we might get the reveal of who her mother is, like, in the next movie or down the road. So maybe there'll be a big reveal of a character in the Scream universe that we were familiar with, or something.
Stop.
I don't know.
Please stop.
But I just think that was a huge mistake. My other big negative here is the characters. Like in general, I did not find any of these new characters like interesting, and the way they talked. The dialogue in this movie is terrible. Like, so what made the first Scream movie so good is that them talking like as friends and stuff, like that just seemed like very natural in how friends talk to each other. Like, you know, whereas this movie, it felt so forced. Like, right, it just felt like a script being written and them just saying, like, you know, like it just did not seem like how teenagers talk. Like, it is just like, oh, like they had like a fucking 20-minute scene about what the rules of a requel, and it was like so cringe. Yeah, and I mean, I have like a lot more problems with this movie, but I'll let Steve go.
So I went into it, none of you actually straight up told me that you didn't like it, but I could definitely tell that you didn't like it. So I went with kind of tempered expectations because I was very excited about it. I mean, Radio Silence had done it. The trailer I thought was actually pretty good. So I went in with an open mind, I guess, more so than maybe I would have gone had I seen it, the first week or whatever. That didn't help anything at all. For a lot of the same reasons that you guys said. I won't rehash some of the same ones, but Sam Carpenter, I don't at all relate to in any way. I don't think she's a good Sydney replacement whatsoever. One of my big issues that you guys kind of glossed over but didn't mention a bit, but not really. Can we just get a fucking definitive family tree of these people? Because every fucking Scream sequel, they pop out these new fucking people from the family that are all somehow related, and it's like trying too hard to attach it to the characters of the original. And we all love Randy. I mean, we talk about it all the time, how much we love Randy. The way they shoehorned in Randy into this was absolutely fucking ridiculous. They have a whole fucking thing on the mantle, like, dedicated to him. They're watching, like, videos of, the guy, like, pretending to be him from Stab, like, his whole fucking speech, almost verbatim, as if someone recorded, like, and it was too much. It's like they wanted to please, like, just do crowd pleasing too much for the first Scream, and it was, like, we keep talking about this because Halloween did the same fucking thing, where at some point you have to kind of detach from the original and just move on, and I think we also saw that with the 3 returning characters. It's cool to see them, but at this point, this is the 5th fucking time that they're going through this. It just doesn't make sense for them to be around anymore. Dewey, maybe, it kind of makes sense, I mean, because he was a cop and everything, so that one was kind of I could see why. But Gail, which thankfully is not with Dewey anymore, and I'm so happy that they didn't do that love angle thing again. They were like going towards it at some point, with him trying to text her and shit like that, but thank God they didn't do that. And Sydney should just stay away at this point. Like, he specifically says, don't come here. He's like, no, I'm not going to come here. And her line, do you have a gun? I'm Sydney fucking Prescott. Of course I have a gun. I rolled my eyes so hard on that. I'm like, come on. No one talks like that in real life,
Yeah, let me just to interrupt real quick, Steve. Like, why would she come back?
No reason.
Like,
there's no reason for her to come back at all.
Her husband, which I didn't realize, I missed with 4 that was her husband, was the cop. He would never let her come back. She wouldn't even like lie about it or try to be secretive about it. She wouldn't do that. And she would not risk it for her kid's life. Yeah. Like, she doesn't fucking care.
Yeah, like, I could see her coming back, which, spoiler alert, when Dewey dies, like, maybe she would come back for that, but she doesn't. She comes back before that. So there's really no reason.
They don't even do Dewey right, man, in this.
Oh, that's a whole other fucking thing. So, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I won't go too much into it. We'll discuss it more, but Dewey is my favorite of the 3 characters that were left. And to kill him off in this, I love the way he was killed. Like, I love how brutal it was. Like, they really try to make it definitive that he died this time by, like, slashing him by both ends and, like, kind of ripping him apart. But I was so bummed. I'm like, no, not him. Don't kill him, So that was kind of a bummer. And the whole movie is trying too hard. And like Joe said, the dialogue, oh my God, it's just someone trying to seem like they're smart to horror these days, and it just did not come off as genuine whatsoever. People just don't talk like that. Look at us. We're 4 giant horror fans. We never talk like that. It's just not how people talk at all, and it was too much. So yeah, didn't like it.
Yeah, it's gonna come back to one of my problems with the killers. It's like, killing Dewey he has so much experience with this stuff, so much experience, and he's fought men, women, whatever you want to say. When he had his crippling injury, he was still fighting. And for him to get taken out by the killer that's like 5 foot, 100 pounds, I'm like, what? And she's dominating him. It's just like, why, Dewey? At least have a sacrifice like he saved Sid or like something like that, something cool. Like, yeah, his kill was brutal, but it didn't mean anything in the story at all. It was just like, let's kill Dewey to make it shocking. And I was like, I hate it. I hate that. I think if they're gonna do the I got my dead relative's serial killer ghost angle, I think it could work if they made it to where like she's trying to fight her urges and you got Billy fucking whispering in her ear. I think that would have been cool.
But Dexter?
Yeah, like Dexter.
Right.
But like
exactly.
but him literally nodding in a knife. I was like, what were they thinking with this one? It was terrible. I fucking hated this movie. Like, it's easily, I mean, it's the only movie I've seen in 2022 and it's on the worst of the list, but by default. But yeah, just nothing about this one did anything for me. Nothing. And it sucks.
Yeah. Well, it's like, and I mean, God, the whole like requel thing, right? Like, that's its whole thing. But I mean, this really is like a complete copy of part one in like so many ways. And it's like, oh my God, talk about like fans. We've talked about fan service like a bunch on this podcast, obviously. And this is like, to me, fan service done wrong, like in a lot of ways. Like,
You killed Dewey. How is that fan service?
That's not, but the call, going back to Stu's house, right? Like,
Okay.
and like
And
stuff
Randy's
like that.
montage little
Right,
tribute
Randy. Yeah.
thing.
Yep. And bringing Randy's sister in as the mother to the
So
these
bad.
two new
So bad.
characters. And yeah, I mean, awful, like terrible. And I really like Jasmine Savoy Brown, but her like as the new Randy character to me like did not work here either, really. But yeah, going back to Dewey's death, I think it was such a slap in the face to the entire franchise, and most importantly, to his character. Because I actually think this might have been David Arquette's best performance, like as Dewey before he died. Like he was like really good in this, and like they didn't even give him an arc here, like nothing. Like he's like they have him as like this loser, and he's trying to like come back, but like. They just like his character just went out like in such a shitty way, and he survived 4 movies, like, and for him to just make a terrible decision like that, just to like go back because he's like, what do you say, like, oh, they always come back or something like that, so I have to like take care of them. Dewey is not. He knows better than that. The dude was the sheriff of police, and for him to just get taken out like that, I thought was just disrespectful, like in a lot of ways. Like I am so bummed, and I keep hearing people say, well, maybe he's not dead, and like we didn't actually see him die.
He's fucking dead.
I'm like, I
don't think he is dead, because when Gail runs up to the body bag on the stretcher, she automatically cries thinking that it's him, and it's like, Gil, how do you know? Like, you've been through this before where people get killed. There were dozens of people in the hospital that got killed. Like, literally, the thing rolls out and she runs across the street and cries.
It's because they forgot to shoot that scene and they had
You
to
think so?
just keep it zipped up.
You think?
If
guess
Stu
so,
probably
but-
survived, I think Dewey could have survived too. So
Yeah, but bring Stu back though. Bring him back.
yeah,
he might come back.
I actually
eventually.
think that kill should have been Judy Hicks's kill.
Sure.
Because she would have been more naive and went back, thinking she knows the rules, and then gets killed. And it would have been a way better death than what she ended up getting, in front of her house, like Sam said before. So that's something I think they should.
What do you guys think about the killers? I thought the final scene was so awful. They were trying to impersonate Stu and Billy so much, and was just
terrible,
bad, dude.
Having 2 killers is so fucking old at this point. Like, it's not clever anymore. They do it in almost all the fucking movies. Like, it's just
4 out of 5.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna go like a thing, kind of like was it like one of the last Saws where it's a bunch of
like
people,
7 killers.
Yeah, like have it almost that entire
Whole
group. Just I don't know, like a cult almost, like like a Scream cult. That would have been different. Nope, they got to go with the 2 fucking obvious ass killers, especially was it
the boyfriend was
Jack
the most
Quaid?
obvious.
Holy shit! Like, could he have? It's horrible. Like,
so obvious.
I thought
like,
they made the girl too obvious too. I'm like, are they really
You
making
think
this
so?
girl this obvious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'm like,
also, like, the time of where Sydney's in the kitchen with Amber, and it's like, bitch, Sydney could literally, like, smash your head against the kitchen cabinet and be done with you. Like, you're literally a 12-year-old.
and she killed Dewey, Sam.
Yeah, I don't believe it.
Uh,
I do agree with you guys about Dewey. Like, they did do him wrong, and Joe was so upset. Like, I was afraid to talk to him about this. He was so upset about Dewey. But I do want to say real quick is, like, with the killers, like how it being the same old same. Seeing the trailer, when I first saw the trailer, I actually was so convinced that Tara and Sam were going to be the killers, which I think that they should have done, because in the trailer, like, we see Tara get, like, snatched in the dark, and you don't really know what happens to her. So I was thinking, oh, it's probably a thing of where, like, Sam acted like she killed her and, like, kind of stabbed her a little bit just to throw everyone off. Like, I think it should have been them too.
Would have been better.
And then also,
Yeah.
real quick, I wonder if they are setting Tara up to be a final girl, because maybe Sam will have some kind of killer instinct where she goes on a kill spree, and then we're with Tara, like Tara's the final girl maybe. Because it is kind of weird that she was so lovable and, like, we were rooting all for her, and she was just supposed to be like the little kid sister, you know?
Yeah, that's actually like a really good point, Sam. I didn't even think of that. That maybe they are grooming her to be, and because I mean, with her like having the killer mentality of Billy inside of her, which how would she even know what he looks like? I guess through pictures. Like, she saw her.
That's
she
another
didn't know who her dad was, right?
He's in the yearbook probably. But another weird moment to that. So though Sam found out about it because she read her mom's diaries, right? So we're led to believe that the mom kept her lover's diary.
Right, in the
about,
attic.
I have a love child with a fucking serial killer. Come on,
Right.
man, give me a break.
Oh man.
So many problems. So many problems.
Well, and like, man, one of the biggest problems too is the legacy characters. Like, what's their screen time in this? Because, like, I feel like they're like hardly even in the movie. Like, they're completely underutilized here. Like, especially Sydney and Gail. Like, I think Dewey obviously gets the probably the most screen time out of the three of them. And like, when he is on screen, I think he's really good. And besides his death, which pissed me off. But then like Sydney and Gail are just kind of like there. Like, I feel like they're just in there for the paycheck. They don't do anything. They don't save the day. They don't really like defeat the killers in the end. Like, they're just fucking there. They're wasted, completely wasted in this movie.
I think especially for Gail, I don't remember exactly what happens, but her and Sydney are about to go inside the house. Gail gets either stabbed or shot, and then she's like, no, I'll sit this one out. What? Like, you just wait outside? Like, what the fuck? Why even bother bringing her back if she's just gonna wait outside for the whole action? It's just, oh my god. Like,
they only had her for 2 days on set, Steve.
Yeah, probably. That's this movie just had a lot of weird decisions that I couldn't get behind. It's just it was a waste.
I mean, and like obviously the big thing here is like the whole toxic fandom thing is like they really like went in on that, which granted, like, yeah, of course the fandom can be toxic from time to time, but do you really want to attack like your whole like the whole entire fan base of the movie, the crowd that's watching this, like, which I thought was like kind of an interesting take. It's like, okay, like you're trying to be self-deprecating, I guess, like in a way, but like, I don't know, it just came off like cringy to me more than anything.
Yeah, it was try hard for sure. I got my daughter's review if you guys want to hear it real quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So she said in the intro, it was good. Showed too much of it in the previews. The good was the kill and the attack was fine, but why does she have to live? Killing Dewey was pointless. How come there wasn't a single hostile person at all? So like, it was like a Michael Myers Part 2 scene where, where's everybody? When he killed the sheriff and Wes, she called all units to her house, but no one came. So we talked about that already. Wouldn't Dewey be able to overpower a young girl? And plus, he shot her like 3 times already at that point, and their bulletproof vest would have shattered her ribs. And then the final scene, didn't the black twins get stabbed like 7 times and they magically come back to life? Where did Liz go? I think she like disappeared at one point in the movie. Liz, I think, was the female version of the twin. Gail should have died. She got stabbed multiple times or shot. the girl killer was hurt, or no, the girl killer was burnt to a crisp but survived? Question mark?
Oh my god, I was getting ready to talk about that. That was
And-
so fucking bad.
I got one more line. And Sam's real dad told her where a knife was so she can murder someone? Question mark. So she thought it was terrible.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
What, so what? So this movie certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, I think like in the 90 percentile or something like that. It almost has, I think, like a 4.0 on Letterboxd. What are we missing?
3.5 now. Yeah.
Yeah. What are we missing?
Didn't we play with it on? Didn't we mention on the chat, or maybe Sam brought it up that maybe we're just too old?
I don't know. Like I don't get it. I mean, and I think a lot of people in the Discord enjoyed it as well. It seems like. So I'm just shocked. The four of us as a whole did not like it. Like I thought maybe at least one of it. I think most people are probably shocked Sam disliked it disliked it as much as she did, because she being the biggest Scream fan out of the four of us probably. But yeah.
I wanted to touch base real quick because I know that you guys are like, teens don't talk like that, and I feel like because I'm the only one here that watches teen shows, and they do talk like that. You guys, like, that's how they talk on TikTok. That's how they talk. That's how they talk. Like, they just think that they know everything. They think that they're so smart and that only their thoughts matter, which is cool. Like, go ahead, but it's very different from how we were. So I think we're just at the age where it's like, what are they talking about?
Yeah. Well, I'm going off of the whole requel scene, right? Where they 20 minutes describe like a requel, like that, like, okay, like Randy's like thing in the first one, like they're all drunk at a party, like that seemed very natural and real. But like them sitting like talking about the rules of a requel for 20 minutes, like so fucking like unbelievable. Like it did not seem like realistic, like whatsoever.
Okay, but Dewey's dumbass was sitting there buying all of it, talking about it too. He was feeding into that shit.
Yeah, I mean,
that is the only like little cheesy thing, but like especially at the beginning where Tara's going on and on about her fucking movie taste, I was like, shut the fuck up, like no one cares. And then when Amber was going on about everyone, like we wanted to be different, and it's like, shut up.
When the boyfriend's like, I never seen a stab. Bullshit, motherfucker. You're lying. We all know you're lying.
That was kind of fun though. The stat when he was watching like all the stab recap things on YouTube.
I gotta say, I did really like the part where Ghostface was talking like he was pretending to be the mom's boyfriend. I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Oh,
like
yeah.
For like 2-3 minutes, he was just kind of normal, and you can tell as a fan, like, oh fuck, that's Ghostface. He's got that little creepy in him. I thought that was pretty cool. I like
at least he wasn't imitating someone else's voice, which was,
oh my god.
Yeah, I'm so glad they didn't go back to that shit.
I liked how they had like the voice changer on like the side of
that was
the thing, like how I thought that was really cool too, like how they introduced that. So yeah, I mean, there's like some decent stuff here. Like I think all the kills were like really good, and like especially like Wes's kill when like he goes through the side of his face there with the knife. That was really good. And like Ghostface is brutal in this. Like they kind of went Halloween Kills sort of, like just the most brutal Ghostface we've seen. So so I mean that's like the most positive I can say about it.
That's actually answers one of Todd's daughter's questions, is why is the hospital empty? The staff went to Haddonfield to talk about the tonight. So
yeah, I think they said like you have a private something, but that doesn't mean every single
the whole floor
leaves.
isn't fucking empty. When you do that, especially when you got attacked by like a fucking killer.
She could have been in critical. She should have been in critical condition because that blade's what?
No, it's a
inches,
movie.
12
it's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, okay.
It's like Last Action Hero. Stop complaining, bitch. It's just a flesh wound.
And here's the thing, like you call this like a requel, right? So like, why not bring back Stu, right, as like one of the killers or something like that? Like you're bringing back all these legacy characters, right, and stuff like that. So like, and then the killers are just two uninteresting new characters. Like that, I think that was like the huge disappointment for me too, because I was like, they're gonna do something. They're gonna bring back a character. They're gonna bring back someone from the original Scream. That would be really cool. But instead, we just get like, just like boring.
I think he's the final boss for part 7.
Yeah. Well, Matthew Lillard is in this movie, actually, for those who don't know. He is in the Stab trailer. He is the ghost face with the flamethrower. That is Matthew Lillard. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
And also, Drew Barrymore also came back for this. She plays the voice of the principal in the high school. You can hear her making announcements in the morning. So they did. I mean, it is cool that they did some of that stuff. Like, you know,
there's some charming parts about it.
See, that's good fan service.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it's the other stuff that was.
Didn't they have a statue to the
That was in part 4.
That was part 4.
Part 4. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Someone brought that up. I think it
Cool.
might have been Steve.
Joe did. Yeah.
Joe.
I didn't notice it either when I watched it. It was,
yeah, they need more of that stuff.
Yeah, that's subtle, nice little.
Yeah, this town
and
has got a lot of damage to it.
The YouTube clip of what's her face, Hayden Panettiere's character.
Yeah, they said she survived.
You guys,
I don't
did she really
remember.
survive?
What was it,
Will
Sam?
she
I don't
ever
remember.
be back? You think?
Well, so yeah, they apparently wanted to bring Kirby back, but they were just like they thought it was gonna be just like too much. Like, yeah. So instead, if you very quickly it pops up when he's watching the thing, one of the side tabs on the YouTube says Woodsboro survivor speaks, and it's a picture of Kirby like in an interview. So yeah, apparently Kirby survived.
I did like the nods to Wes Craven, like
sure,
you know, Elm Street and all that stuff. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and we get the very ending, we get the 4 West, which was nice. Like it was really nice. Yeah, I mean, the directors, I think, you could tell they were trying, like, obviously to be respectful to the franchise, but whoever wrote this script, I don't know. Is it Kevin Williamson? Did Kevin Williamson write the script? Did he come back for this? I don't know.
I'm wondering how much leeway they got. Like, if this was their tale,
right?
I don't think it's a question.
Yeah,
they probably hey, this
is
is what you got to do. Kevin Williamson.
Mm-hmm. No, it's just characters created by it, but it's James Vanderbilt that wrote it.
The guy from fucking that football movie?
No.
I don't want your life.
James Vanderbeek.
Vanderbeek. Yeah.
Oh, that's.
It's the guy who wrote. Let's see, Ready or Not.
Spider-Man 2.
Oh,
Zodiac. Zodiac's good.
The Amazing Spider-Man's fucking Independence Day. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Dude, Zodiac's legit. It's a good movie.
Huh.
I mean, maybe it's because Williamson didn't write this one, you know, like it just didn't have the same charm. I don't know. They were like, it's like they were writing like Williamson would write, you know, like that's kind of how it felt here, but it just didn't feel as natural. But
plus,
my God,
writing all the other movies that have a bunch of stuff going on, like all those titles that everyone just named.
Right. But can we just talk about Amber's death? Like, she fucking was engulfed in flames, and you're telling me that it's realistic that she would get up?
No, your body would be in shock. You would literally be paralyzed on the floor. You would not be able to move.
That was ridiculous. That was such a fucking corny ass scene. I fucking hated it when she like came up like all like burnt and charred. I'm like, give me a fucking break. That was like icing on the cherry on the shit sundae for me when that happened.
You know what they should have done, man? If they want to change it up, have the killers win. Have them pull off their little fucking scheme. And they're famous and they're fucking
until the next one.
They're victims. Yeah.
Just change it up. Final girl. Yeah, that'd be that would have been awesome.
They should have killed Gale, though. Let's be honest.
Should just not brought him in.
They shouldn't have been brought in at all. Like, I get why they did, but I don't think they should have.
Yeah.
Like, nope, we're fucking done. Have Dewey and Gale in love in fucking New York, and they're like, nope, we're good. And then Sydney's, I don't know, man.
So where do we go from here? I mean, part 6 is coming.
Leave it alone. Oh,
it's coming. It's coming, Todd. You don't have a choice.
Damn it.
The directors are coming back. Radio Silence is coming back for part 6. It fucking killed it in theaters, right? I mean, it finally dethroned Spider-Man, and
for a week, Spider-Man went right back.
I was like, dethroned Spider-Man, not my baby boo.
Jackass actually dethroned Spider-Man for good.
Just have Tom Holland come back. He'll be in the next one. He'll be the killers, and Zendaya will be his killer-ass sidekick.
Sam would love that.
Let's just have them banging the whole time. Call it a day.
Do you think we'll get more Ghost Billy in part 6?
Fucking shit.
I hope not, but I think so. I think
we are.
That's what's gonna happen with Sam.
Yeah, I actually think you might have predicted it, Sam. I think you're right. I think she's going to go like full villain in the next one. Like Billy's gonna turn her because she has that psycho edge, and then
because otherwise, if not, what is the point of having the visions of Billy? Like introducing that to us? Like
he's a helpful ghost.
So what? It's gonna go away in a year when we see her again. Like
like when she loses her car keys and he's in the mirror. He goes, he's over there.
Yeah, right.
That's what he does.
Right.
It's very helpful. He's misunderstood.
Yeah. So this is what I think is going to happen. So the next movie, they're going to kill Sydney and Gail. I think they're both
Good.
No.
or at least one of them,
Good.
and
Do
kill
it.
the next one, the one and then the one after, and then at
Dewey's
the
daughter
end,
that we didn't know about comes back.
yeah, right, yeah, that or cousin or like adopted fucking aunt or whatever the fuck it is.
Dewey's receptionist from the police station.
Yeah,
Gail had a baby, and Gail's
Gail's
and she hid it from Dewey
intern.
for 15 years.
yeah, and I think Stu's going to be the final boss in part 7, and then he's going to go after what's her Tara, but then Tara is going to be helped by the 3 ghosts of Dewey, Gail, and Sydney.
Oh my god,
like,
I hate you.
like fucking the Ghostbusters.
Like
style.
Ghostbusters.
Not
Yeah.
even
They're going to
five.
hold her knife up
Oh my
and finish
god.
Stu off once and for all. Why the fuck not at this point? You know, to make it
Exactly.
Right?
something different.
You know, submit the script, Steve.
Yeah.
Exactly. Get those credits. Make
We
that,
still have their
make that
contact,
check.
right?
I love it.
Yeah. God, it's just I don't even know where they go from here. Like what type of horror movie do they riff off
Same
of? You know,
plot. It's the same plot though.
they got to stop with the same fucking beats every single. Like we did the review of 1 and 4 a month ago, right? And I went back and listened to it just to kind of prepare for this. And a lot of the complaints we had about the sequels in that one were again repeating the same fucking thing. Family members that come out of nowhere, 2 killers again. It's just like, why haven't they learned a fucking lesson with this? It's crazy. Do something different for
Have
once.
the killers win. Have the killers kill Sydney and Gail and make it look like Gail and Sydney were the killers and they finally snapped after all these years and then they win. I think that's what I think that'd be actually pretty cool. But
You gotta surprise us. You gotta surprise us some way. I mean, that's what that's what made
with
the first
Sydney
one so
the
good.
entire time. For the last 25 years, it was just her.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe they
alright.
were thinking let's do it this way just to kind of warm the people up to us since we're new to the franchise. Like maybe that's why, but I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I have some hope, I guess, because like I do think Radio Silence, I think they're very good filmmakers. Like
yeah.
I mean, they dropped the ball on this one, in my opinion. But I mean, maybe it wasn't like Todd had said.
Maybe it
I
wasn't
mean, it
them.
might have just been studio pressure. The studio might have been kind of looking over their shoulder the whole movie or whatever. But
It
I
could
mean,
also
that would
be
make sense because they're like, there's a formula and the formula seems to work. So don't change it on this first one. Don't fuck it up or you're not getting the next one.
yeah,
It could also just be a thing where some filmmakers are better with their original material than they are
Yeah,
with
sure.
IPs. And I mean, M. Night Shyamalan's a perfect example of that. When he did his own IPs, they were better than when he tried to do fucking Avatar, which is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in the theater. So maybe some people are just better suited to do their own material, and maybe that's the
Sure.
case with Radio Silence. I don't know. Like, so I'll still give it
Yeah.
a chance. I mean, I'll definitely see,
Oh, yeah.
whatever they call the next Scream.
Of course, we're definitely gonna
yeah.
go and
Yeah.
watch it and review it. So,
All right.
but what do they call the next one? Right?
That's a whole.
Like,
oh my god.
Keep screaming.
Yeah, scream again.
Screaming.
or more screaming.
Scream harder.
Yeah.
I just kind of hope they call it Scream 6, and it's just like, well, fuck
Yeah.
it.
I don't know.
Ratings?
Sure. I can't believe I liked this. I mean, I liked Halloween Kills better than Scream, though. Like, I never thought
Me too.
after watching Halloween Kills, I was like, Halloween Kills is better.
Yeah, those kills are legit. I'm low. I'm a 2 out of 5 on Letterboxd. What does that translate to out of 10? Like a
4?
4? I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a massive disappointment. Definitely. I mean, this will definitely go down probably as the biggest disappointment of 2022, and we're only in February. And I mean, there's some decent stuff here, I guess. I didn't completely hate watching it, but I mean, easily the worst of the entire Scream franchise. I'll give it a 5.
I feel like we got caught up with Gail and Dewey more than we did Sydney. And it's like, who fucking cares? Like, I want to know how many dogs does she have? Are they golden retrievers? I want to know what sports her kids are doing. Like, what are their names? What's going on with her husband? What does her home decor look like these days? So I think I'm sitting at a 5 as well.
I also forgot to mention, I mentioned it, I think last week, I was seeing a special screening of Scream, and I didn't know what it was. It was like an all-access Scream fan event that they called it. It was only the actors presenting the movie at the beginning in like a fucking video. That's all it was. There was no like things to give out. There was no, anything. It was just basically a behind the scenes, thank you for being a Scream fan. Here's we had fun doing this project, blah 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 blah. It was like an extra 10 minutes tacked onto the fucking movie at the beginning. So huge disappointment there. So despite having shit on it for the last half hour, I did come out somewhat entertained. Like I wasn't bored, and that is usually my biggest cinema sin, is being bored. And I did, as much as I complain about it, I did like seeing Dewey again. I did like seeing Ghostface again. I thought he was brutal, and so I was entertained. And I will give it another chance. Now that I've seen it, I'll have time to like think about it. So when it comes out, I'll probably buy it because I want to finish the collection anyway. So I'm actually going to be higher than you guys. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I still like had fun watching it, but there are a lot of fucking issues. Like this should have been a 9 at least. But it wasn't. It was a 6, and that's the bummer. That's why I guess I'm complaining so much. But I was still entertained, so I'm good with the 6.
Steve, you're right. I mean, it was entertaining. I was entertained because I was trying to figure out who the killer was. I was loving the party scenes. Like, I was having a fine time. I guess I was just let down because I think I just have the nostalgia for it, which is my own fucking fault. Like, I'm literally the person that I bitch about. Like, lower your expectations. What else can you have different about Scream 6, people? Scream 5.
And for the record, 3 is my least favorite still.
Okay, I was going to ask because it's everyone's least favorite. Yeah,
I still go. For me, it'd be 1, 4, 2, 5, 3.
Remind me which one 3 is. Stab.
It's the one that's like behind the scenes, like in Hollywood.
Yeah. Mine's in order still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I go in order as well.
It's not even close too. I hate 5. At least 4 is passable.
Yeah, I think 4 is more entertaining for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the killers are better in 4 too. More interesting anyway.
Well, I'm gonna disappoint a lot of people because a lot of people like this one.
Yeah, I know.
We're on a disappointing roll right now. So
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that when I do rewatch it, I'll be like, holy shit, I was way too harsh on this. But we'll see.
Yeah,
At least
see. I
still-
mean, I'm definitely
still
gonna
dead.
rewatch it. Yeah.
I mean, maybe I was in a bad mood because the theater was out of nacho cheese, so
It was.
I didn't get to enjoy my usual.
Now
nacho.
COVID's got our cheese, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So
Taking everything.
all right. So next week, Texas
Chainsaw next week.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have another shitty
another
review
big franchise.
wait, the
I
new
think
one
I
already?
am.
on Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. Going back to when I watched the trailer, guys, I don't need Sally Ann Joe coming back saying she's waited all these years.
Bitch, get a hobby.
Fuck. Like, why? Like, no, bitch, you have not been waiting all this long. Like, move on with your life. Have your grandbabies. Come on.
It doesn't make sense that she'd be waiting 50 years for Leatherface.
No,
Like,
it was literally like a copy and paste of Lori. Like,
Yeah,
just
Lori waited
stop.
40 years for Michael. So
right.
And Michael was incarcerated. This guy's on the prowl,
yeah,
right?
exactly. He's just
Yeah,
out
you
there.
could've
Like,
gone
just
to
go
him.
get him. Yeah.
Yeah, go look for him. Be
Right.
like,
Makes no
Leatherface, I'm out here
sense.
alone.
Yeah,
And just have a
she's
gun.
just like at home, like, I can't wait for a group of kids to go there
Yeah,
so I can make my
at home
move.
having
You know?
tea. Like, come on.
Watch her
Bringing
do something
Sally back
stupid like
makes-
she's working with them. Watch
Yeah.
them
Well,
fuck
bring
that
it-
up somehow.
Bringing her back doesn't even make sense because, like, the original actress is dead. So, like, I could see
Yeah.
if, like, they would have brought her back because it was the original actress. That would have been cool. But,
Sure,
like,
I guess.
I could completely recast her and be like, okay, we're bringing her back. Like, I'm very, this is gonna be bad. I'm
Yeah,
already,
let
I'm already
grandma-
calling it.
Let grandma be at home with her grandkids, not trying to kill fucking Leatherface.
Wow.
Like a whole
Man.
new story would have been so more. And I mean, I haven't seen it yet, obviously, but
Yeah, we're all judging.
Just a
it.
whole-
I
just a whole new story would have been like, you would have gotten me in the seat. I would have paid the ticket. I would have Texas Chainsaw is brutal. It's usually scary. Like, but just her saying, I've waited for this. I was like, I don't want to see you.
years.
Yeah, there was even like dust flying
Where's
out of
my
her mouth when
walker?
she said it. I was like, why?
Where's my walker?
if
Leatherface
if-
can't lift a fucking chainsaw. You know how heavy those things are? This fucking guy's 75 years old, pumping it above his head. Come on.
Like I don't believe it. Like if the lady's older now,
He's got to be old too.
older now.
I don't know
too,
though.
Like, be like 70.
I saw Gunnar
at
Hansen
least.
right before he died, and he looked good. Like he could hold a fucking chainsaw
Yeah.
still to this day. So I
All
think
right.
Leatherface could do
We'll
it.
allow
maybe
it. We'll
maybe
allow
it's
it.
not. Maybe it's a different Leatherface.
No, it's
Maybe
the
it's one
original,
of the.
right?
Maybe it's
Yeah,
one of the
yeah, it's-
inbreeds. Maybe it's Jedediah that is now
Yeah, that'd be
like-
awesome.
Imagine. Holy shit, that'd be amazing. Automatic 5 points for that.
Right.
I'll have a tear running down my eye.
Should have
I
died.
will say that the mask looks cool in this one, so that's already a positive. So
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to hear that little music
Excited.
where it's like near.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they brought the original narrator back for this one too. So
Nice. He's still
I
kicking
like
it. Cool.
that.
yeah, Night Court, baby.
Nice.
All right.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that's going to wrap it up for this episode. Hopefully, we did not let you down with our Scream review. Let us know what you think. Apparently, everyone loves it. So if you love it, cool. But it's going to be a no for us. Don't forget to.
It's a no for us, dog.
For now. Maybe when we revisit it, who knows? Maybe that'll be a trivia punishment. You got to revisit Scream 5.
Mhm.
Anyways, be sure to follow us on Instagram, check out our Discord, and don't forget book movie night. Movie club is tomorrow, Saturday. Join our Discord so you can get all the details. And thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
What's your favorite scary movie?